Now, gang videos on the internet often depict, and some would say glamorise, violence. So should the police have the powers to remove them? One London MP thinks so and is trying to change the law, but others don't agree, objecting, among other things, on the grounds of censorship or simple practicality, as Jerry Thomas reports now.
Videos such as these are easy to find on the internet. At the extreme end of the spectrum, they depict images of actual violence, the brandishing of weapons, and are rife with references to drug dealing and gang warfare.
A boy aged just 12 was part of a gang who killed a man suspected of the murder of a teenage boy. A gang of boys armed with knives chased...
Disturbing scenes like these are all too common on London's news bulletins. But is there any proven connection between the gang videos posted causing gang-related crime? According to the MP for Lewisham East, Heidi Alexander, the answer is yes. She has called for a change in the law, which would effectively bolster the currently self-regulated system of monitoring unsuitable material on the internet.
Video flagged on YouTube is reviewed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and react quickly to remove material that violates our policies.
Now the MP for Lewisham East wants police to be enabled to take down inappropriate videos from the internet. But would police intervention represent common sense action or heavy-handed censorship? We asked a group of young men and women from the From Boyhood to Manhood Foundation, which works with young people who've been excluded or are in danger of being excluded from school, to take a look at some gang videos and give us their view.
The boy run like a wounded dog, broke you see and record.
There's an MP in Lewisham who's trying to change the law, get police involved and get this stuff taken down. Does she understand what it's like? Is she on the right track?
The wrong track.
Because
it's like if she takes off, they can put it on Facebook and like there's other websites they can put it on.
You can try and take it off YouTube, they're still gonna find a way, and they probably do it in a worse way, and you're not gonna like that, and then they'll just find another way. You can't brainwash people, man.
It's just a lie.
It's not gonna work, just put it that way.
So she doesn't really get it, she doesn't understand the issues?
He basically thinks that music is making children do this, but it's not. It's not gonna affect any of us, it's just a song that's made by a gang.
Okay, because she says, and I'm quoting her, she says it glorifies gangs, and it promotes serious gang violence. Is that right?
It does, but it's not affecting us. No. It's affecting them. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. Yeah.
Like I'll be chop.
She also says that the videos are kind of a recruitment mechanism for getting kids into gangs. Is that fair comment?
No, what she's gonna do? She's just gonna make the gangs hate police more.
Running up your mouth, got me out again on the ride with the stick.
Take them all off and censor the whole lot. I don't care. I just think it's disgusting. And you young people don't seem to get it. You think it's funny. It's not funny. I don't like to see our young men up there looking like that. They look stupid. And they're cowards. Why are you covering your face? If you're so big and bad, take it off. Stand there and show people who you are. Go and get a job. You haven't got a job? Create a job. Use your brain. Do something else. Don't destroy our community. I'm not for it. I'm with the MP. Take it off.
Heidi Alexander's bill should be tabled early next year. Whilst MPs may be persuaded, some young people in London may well be less convinced.
Jerry Thomas reporting there. Heidi Alexander, Labour MP for Lewisham East, is with me here. Peter Barron, Director of External Relations for Google, which owns YouTube, of course. And Ioannou Sesmi from the Boyhood to Manhood Foundation is also here. Heidi Alexander, I think the first thing we probably need to get clear is the kind of videos you are objecting to most. Are the factual ones depicting violence, are they? Or are they the range of videos that include rap videos and so on?
Well, what I've come across, Tim, over the last year has been a whole load of videos on the internet filmed in the hearts of our town centres, on our housing estates, groups of young men stood around, often rapping, sometimes carrying weapons, rapping about knives, about stabbing, about gangs, and I just think it's unacceptable.
Sometimes carrying weapons?
Yes.
So, I mean, we looked this week and we couldn't find any, for instance, where people actually are wielding weapons.
Okay.
So, but well, you've had these drawn to your attention?
I have.
And if they have been drawn to your attention, they've been removed already?
Well, one of the videos that I saw where there was a knife was removed after about 8 or 9 months. There were a number of people who had flagged it as inappropriate content on a YouTube site. It was brought to my attention by a constituent whose son had been mugged at knife point in Catford. When I looked at the video, sat in my office in Westminster, there was a group of young men and clearly a young man carrying a knife. I flagged it as inappropriate content, other people had done, but it was still up there 9 months afterwards.
Do you think there's a level of concern out there that justifies the attention you are giving this?
I believe there is, and I believe that actually, even if young people don't necessarily make a link in their mind that they've just seen this video and 2 weeks later they're going to carry a knife, it's all part of the context. We know young people are on the internet a huge amount, and we also know that young people are carrying knives often out of fear. And if any human being watched these videos, you would be terrified by some of the things that you see.
And so what do you say about the responsibility of YouTube, for instance, for showing them?
Well, YouTube have got a policy whereby if you flag it, it can be taken down. That's a start. I'm not sure it's enough. And I think that the police should have the power to go to the courts, and the courts are quite important as this, because this isn't about a police state, to force internet service providers to block access to these videos.
So, and we heard a little bit about your current policy here, but the MP's point here, it's not enough. You do it, I mean, presumably, the argument there, it's not efficient enough the way you're, or what you're doing.
Well, we recognise that it is a problem and we are addressing the problem. So we have community guidelines which forbid videos which glamorise violence or incite hatred, and that includes the brandishing of weapons. And we have teams who are working 24 hours a day to review flagged material. So if a member of the public sees a video that they think breaks the guidelines, it's simple to flag that. That will be reviewed
Just within
what kind
of number of videos are we talking about for YouTube? How many a minute?
There are 48 hours of video uploaded every minute around the world.
So you have a team of how long, how big?
We have teams all around the world who are reviewing thousands of videos.
Lots of people? How many people does it
I can't tell you exactly how many people,
but I mean...
But we have teams right around the world who are operating 24 hours a day, and they will review videos that are flagged within hours. So the video that Heidi talked about, that has already been reviewed and removed. And as you say...
She said it took 9 months, of course.
No, well, of course, but our policies are evolving. We've recognised that this is a particular problem in Britain, and a couple of years back we changed our policy to deal with precisely this issue of gang videos which glamorise violence.
So you changed it, I wanted to be clear about it. You changed that 2 years ago, did you?
That's right.
Which was what? Because you were already monitoring 24 hours. What did you do 2 years ago that really looked at violence?
Because we have guidelines which deal with violent scenes, for example, or pornography, hate speech, that sort of thing. Brandishing of weapons at that point didn't fall outside our guidelines. We recognised this was a particular problem in Britain, and we've tightened the guidelines in Britain, and we continue to monitor that. So Heidi, for example, talks about videos which maybe there isn't a brandished weapon, but it's very, very clear that the specific purpose of this video is to intimidate people. That's against our guidelines, and that will be removed.
Do we need the police involved then?
I'm not sure we need the police involved at this point, because we do have community guidelines which will deal with this. We really encourage viewers to look at these videos. If they see something that they think breaks the guidelines, flag it. We will review it. And if it
do you have any serious worry that this might take off? You might get anywhere with this proposal?
Well, of course, we abide by the law. If the law of the land says that these videos should be removed, then that's obviously something we would respect. But just to be clear, we are addressing this problem, and we are calling on people to flag videos and make sure that inappropriate stuff is removed.
OK, Joanna, we heard Decima there saying, put it in very strong terms, get these videos off or whatever. I agree with that. The police should be able to do it. What do you think?
I mean, it's good to get the videos off, but my experience tells me that the videos are not the main cause of gang violence. The main cause of gang violence is young boys being lonely, alienated. Young boys don't have a space or support to support them to become healthy young men. At the moment, when you look on these YouTube videos, what you're seeing is jerk masculinity. That's indicating to us that these men, these young people, need support in developing more healthy masculinity to express themselves. So I'm saying
is it posturing? Is it serious, some of this stuff? When someone, even if someone is brandishing a weapon, is this serious?
It's just young boys demonstrating and copying and imitating gangsterism.
So is this an overreaction from the MP for Lewisham East?
ID is right to bring it up, but I believe that your focus should be focused on key areas. For instance, supporting young people in engaging in the community, supporting more amenities within the community, but I just think it's just too much.
Some might say, I don't know, dealing with the really difficult business.
Well, I entirely agree with everything that Awani has just said there. Removing these videos isn't going to just tackle the problem of gang culture. It's about so many other things. But what I'm concerned about is young people who are viewing these videos, sometimes tens or hundreds of thousands of times, are actually frightened and fearful as a result of this. We know that young people carry knives often out of fear. They might not start out to stab someone, but with the number of knife crime incidents going up, we've got to find a way of tackling it. Do you believe that? Do you
accept that cause, the causal link that she said?
This is a huge debate, isn't it, to do with video games, to do with all kinds of expression online. There's no doubt at all that these videos are disturbing. In some cases, they're illegal, and certainly in many cases, they're against our community guidelines, and we think that's enough to have them taken down.
Gang culture has developed long before YouTube, and it is not the videos, it is society itself unable to support men to become more healthier men, and that's the issue. This is why young men are joining gangs, because they're not being taught how to become healthy men.
Would you like YouTube, Google here, to do more than they're doing already, given that, you know, it may well be that you're not going to get these powers to get police to do more, they're busy enough as it is. Should they be doing more themselves?
Yes, and Google and I are actually going to meet with the Minister in the new year. Looking at their guidelines, looking at the number of people that they've got allocated to reviewing this material, perhaps speeding up how long it takes to get the videos removed. Going back, though, to what Awani said, gangs aren't new, but the internet is, and the speed with which material can be propagated, it is new.
You reviewed things 2 years ago. There's still a hell of a lot of concern. Knife crime is going up again. What will you do now?
We're listening to Heidi and others, and we're learning, and our policies are evolving all the time. We recognise that there's a problem, and we're determined to address it.
And we have more staff, faster response to flagging?
Well, our flagging system works remarkably well. I think we would encourage people to make sure that they do flag stuff if they see, and it just takes one flag to raise that and have that reviewed by our teams, and then if it's against our guidelines, it'll be taken down.
OK. Well, to all three of you, this is a subject undoubtedly we'll be returning to at some stage. To all three of you, thanks very much indeed. And with that, John, it's back to you.